and joining us now in Studio B is one of the newest members of the BYU basketball team, recently transferred from Utah Valley University following his head coach, Mark Pope. His name is Wyatt Lowell. Wyatt, welcome to Studio B.
Wyatt.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Excited to be here.
I'm sure the past few weeks have been crazy for you.
That is an understatement, yeah. It is. It has been crazy.
So we're going to dive into that right now.
Did you even have to move, though? Orem to Provo?
I'm still living in the same place.
That's nice.
Right next to EVU, actually. So
that's a break.
That's
funny.
down the street. Yeah.
That's a break. Okay, you don't have to move, but man, everything changes for you. Your class schedule, all the credits got to get transferred over, and now you're in a brand new basketball program with new facilities, and you got to get acclimated with all that. So how would you let's go ahead and rewind to the day you decided, I think I want to go to BYU. What was that like, and what was going through your mind?
That's a great question. So actually that day I had met with Pope. So my name was in the transfer portal after Coach had left UVU at that time. And he had me and my parents come over on an unofficial visit. And so he took me around the campus, showed me actually this place, this place is really cool.
It is cool. We like it too.
The Sports Nation, and I mean like BYUtv. So he showed me all that, and that was like really cool. And so then we went back to the practice facility, and we sat down and had the opportunity to ask him a lot of questions, a lot of things that were really important to me for my career and also just my parents. And we had a really good talk with Coach Pope. For those that know Pope, he's really good at talking, and he's just really good at talking. And so after that, I went home with my parents, and we just talked about how we felt about the meeting. And actually later that day, I decided that I wanted to play for BYU. So I called Pope and let him know, and here we are.
Was this something that you wanted to do when you were younger? Did you want to come to BYU? Were they in the mix?
Interesting question and an interesting relationship with BYU. I liked BYU growing up, but I never was like a diehard fan. Like growing up in Arizona, I loved ASU. I loved watching Duke because I loved basketball. So
you draw charges? Is that what you're saying?
That's funny. I liked BYU, but I never really was in love with it. So I was recruited by BYU and all that, and yeah.
What is Mark Pope like as a head coach? If you had to explain him in, for lack of a better phrase, in the moment, in the trenches, when you're in the heat of a really intense game.
Energy and fight, and I'll throw in there win. Those three things I think define Coach Pope at the core. He has tons of energy. He wants to fight and he wants to win, hands down, every time, every day. And those are the things that I love about Coach Pope.
Those are the things that we have gathered from interacting with him when he was here and our interactions with him when he was at BYU as well. And we'll talk about the guy that came with you as well, Richard Harwood, in a couple minutes. But let's talk about your game. So you averaged 24 a game. I think your senior year, Scout ranked you the #1 power forward in Arizona. You go on your mission to Minnesota. What kind of game do you have? And it looks like you're a three-point shooter as a 6'10" guy.
Great question. So growing up, I was always taller than everybody my age. So growing up, I learned how to play as a big guy. So I learned how to post up, and I learned how to do all the things that typically everybody that's taller does. But I also had the opportunity to learn how to be a guard too. I was taught how to dribble, taught how to shoot. And so from elementary to junior high to high school, I just continued to develop those skills, which really helped me translate into the player that I am today. But coming home from a mission, it's really hard after 2 years not really being consistent in your skills. So coming back, really just focused on the things that I was really good at, which is one of them is shooting. And so I think that is my best skill offensively as a shooter. But I'm excited for this redshirt season to really put in the work to bring a lot of those skills back, to being able to be a dominant post player, being able to make reads off of ball screens and things like that. I'm just really excited for this upcoming year.
So you a stretch four? Are you a post-up guy? Or are you all kinds of?
I think.
What do you prefer?
The simple way to put it is if there's a smaller guy on me, I want to post him up because I know I can score on him down there. Or if there's a bigger guy on me, I want to bring him out because typically I like to think I'm quicker and faster than most big guys. So it kind of depends on who's guarding me.
So you're a matchup nightmare as well.
Yeah. We'll go with that. How about
that? I do like the idea of a 6'10" guy that can shoot. And it seems like you cater to today's game.
Yeah.
I think maybe 10 or 20 years ago, they wouldn't let you shoot as much, right?
No, wouldn't be doing so well.
You were born at the right time.
Yeah.
Okay, there's always this level of patience that you need to express when you are a redshirt and you've got to sit out a year. And like that's a big part of the decision process is, man, I've got to sit out a full season. So how did you get your head around that and think, you know what, this is actually going to be the best thing for me?
Yeah, that's a really good question because it was something that was pretty hard. Like you go from high school to going on a mission, so you have to wait 2 years to play. And so that alone is just like, oh man, I want to be playing right now. And then having come back and I got a taste of what it's like to play and knowing how fun it is. Because you put in all the work and practice in it honestly kind of sucks sometimes because practice is super hard. And then having to have that thought of having to sit out again, it was really hard. But meeting with Pope, we talked about the opportunity that it was, being able to really recover from the 2 years and really, like, while you're playing, you have the stress of having to perform and you need to be doing well to play and a lot of those things. But redshirting, I'm not playing. So all I need to worry about every day when I show up is I'm just here to get better. I'm here to win. And I can try things that I might not be able to try if I was playing.
Yeah.
So really, at the end of the day, I think I'm really excited about it.
Listen, being on the scout squad for a year is awesome. You can just chuck.
Yeah.
You can just like
I'm trying to beat the guy. So, I mean, I'm just trying to get some
disregard
buckets.
for quality of shot. Just put it up, which is how I play normally. Against BYU, you scored 9 points on 4 of 5 shots in 18 minutes. Is that a taste of what you can do?
I think that's a
That was
good way
pretty
to put it.
efficient.
A taste. There
Yeah.
we go.
What was it like? What was it like to compete against BYU? Now you're playing for BYU.
Interesting. Very interesting. I mean, you kind of are down the street. That's the school up the street, and you want to beat them, and it's just that rivalry. But it was super fun playing here because, I mean, look at the stadium, look at the fans. Like when we came here, that juice that we felt, it's hard not to want to play your best. So it was super fun coming here, and I'm excited that I get to play here even more now.
Wyatt Lowell, BYU basketball transfer with us on BYU Sports Nation. Your teammate Richard Harward also comes to BYU. What can you tell us about Richard in terms of his basketball skill set?
He is a monster. If you have to guard him in the low post and he gets the ball, good luck. He is so strong, and he's crafty, and he's good with his hands. He's got super long arms too, which you don't really expect. And so guarding him is just a nightmare when he gets the ball. But also, he's just a really good teammate. He's a good guy. He obviously wants to win, so he'll do what's necessary to win. But at the end of the day, like, he's uplifting, and he works his butt off. Like, any guy that works their butt off, they get rewarded. And I think that's what we saw this last year when he just started to kill it. So I'm super excited for him. And
Yeah, it took off second half of the season.
Yeah,
I wish
great.
he could play this year. He's the position BYU needs, but he's got to sit out like you. So let's see, you two on the scout squad. Yeah, you'll just do your best to take it to the guys, right?
It's gonna be fun.
Do you miss your beard? Because you have to shave at BYU.
Oh, that's a soft subject right now. I'm gonna miss it. Took all those years to finally get it, and now we'll be able to use it.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, you had to be clean shaven on your mission. You had the 8 months or whatever.
Exactly.
in Utah Valley. So yeah,
I basked in it while I had it.
these are
Yeah.
the sacrifices
Yes.
that build the BYU basketball kingdom, Wyatt. I don't know if you knew that.
Now, running with the guys in the annex, what can you tell us about the current makeup of BYU basketball?
Ooh, good question. Let's see. So I actually have only played with him once.
Okay.
I played with him yesterday. Actually, I'm coming off of a foot injury from the season.
Mm-hmm.
But it's always interesting having a new coach. There's a lot of things that you have to figure out, but there's not a lot of guys leaving. So I think there will be a lot of togetherness. And I mean, like having watched TJ and play against him, I think like he'll be a great leader. And then adding Jake to the mix with Gavin Baxter, I mean, I think it'll be a good team. And when you have a coach like Pope, who he's going to bring the fire every day and he makes you better, I think it'll be good. And it looks like a good team, good guys too. Like I've just enjoyed being around them, good guys.
Do the coaches ever play pickup with you guys, or that's the early morning old guy thing?
I think that might be the early guy, old whatever, messed that up. But at UVU, some of the coaches did, and I thought it was pretty funny. They thought
Because
they were hot
Burgess would
stuff.
jump in, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
We've heard about
Yeah.
Any other? Would Cody?
Cody would sometimes, Daniels would, And I mean, they thought they were hot stuff.
And
but-
Mark never did it.
No, he never does.
He played in the NBA. He's
I know.
like above it.
I know. He's like, I'm too good for this. I want to see him play though, but
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll get that.
Who he could get a crisp rebound, right? Who's the most anxious to be on the teams that skins? You think on the team right now?
Ooh,
Who wants to be a skin?
You know what I'm saying?
skin is
You know what
in.
I'm like? Who wants to take their shirt off?
Who wants
He was
to
like,
show
yeah,
off?
Oh,
I'm
from
skins,
somebody
I'm
that I
skins,
know. That's a
skins.
good idea.
Yeah.
Let's see.
You're new, so this is a dangerous
I know.
question.
Yeah, I know. This is. I gotta be like careful. I don't want to like make any enemies right off the bat. So we'll just go with current players or past players.
Sure, whatever.
Either one.
Either one.
Either one. What's his name? Somebody just came in. Collinsworth. He just came in.
Oh,
Collinsworth?
yes, that's the right answer.
seemed like a guy
That's
like
the
that.
right
That's
answer.
right. Because if there's a social media post, he will not wear a shirt.
He was there yesterday, right?
and he looks
He was.
great.
Yeah. I saw him.
If I
leave.
look
I
like
mean,
that,
yeah. If
I'd
you
be
look like
anxious.
that, everybody would want to be doing that.
I would never be on the shirts team if I was him. Ever.
He's never on the shirts team on his social media account. So
No shirt Tuesdays every day. Yeah, exactly.
that should be a new acronym. No,
Let's do.
NST.
Hey, you and I
No
should do
Shirt
that, dude.
Tuesday.
That'd be awesome, man.
Oh, that's hilarious. Wyatt, great to talk to you, man. Welcome to
Yeah,
BYU.
welcome to BYU.
And
Great to have you.
Thank you.
we'd love for you to sign our BYU Sailor Coug flag before you go, if you don't mind.
For sure. I would love to.
He's
Okay,
got the
pride-
Sailor
pride
Coug
of
shirt
Gilbert.
on. He's signing the Sailor Coug flag.
A few members of the church in Gilbert.
6'10". He's here to get buckets, folks.
Can't